What's up, ladies and gentlemen? It's the Resistance. Back at y'all with another live stream. This one, we done switched from state to federal. State to federal, okay? For the past couple of nights, I've been giving the pre-trial audio and the trial audio of my trial, the Resistance versus the Commonwealth of Massachusetts, Star Witness Scott Roby. We just ended trial last night with the audio hearing, and now we switching over to federal. Shouts to everybody in the chat. Southeastern PA Community Watch. Rick Critner, the juice is loose in the fruit, Orange, Texas. James Williams. Appreciate all of y'all. So what's before you is, on the left screen, my actual complaint. And on the right side is Scott Roby's answer to the complaint. Shout out to Renetta Williams, the queen, all the way from Wynn, Arkansas. Okay, so like I was saying, this is the answer. On the right-hand side is the answer of to the complaint from Scott Roby and his the city attorney who's representing him. I spoke to y'all a little bit before about this federal case. I told y'all that I had put the complaint in earlier this year in February. I kept that quiet because I still had the state case going. He still kept continuing it for a further day for trial. So I kept this part quiet until we found out the outcome of the state case. Shout out to Joe Casano, Georgiana Duckett. So now that the state case is over, and y'all know the outcome to it, I'm making it public of what's going on with the federal case. So I started that back in February, went through a few phases, and I will be doing a show later on my experience. I'm not giving any law advice, but I will show my experience of what I've been through as far as filing a civil rights complaint. I will be doing that at a later date. But right now, I'm just keeping you abreast with what's going on with the federal complaint. So in February, I filed. We went through a few phases as far as me drawing up my complaint and submitting it. First, I filed indigency, and then I paid for it, which is $402. And once I paid the $402, things started to kick in fast. So I received summons to serve the defendant. I had to get here in Massachusetts, you have to hire a service for the other party to be served. So I had to do that, which was the Suffolk County Sheriff. They handled that for me. And then, you know, what happened after that, I was waiting on responses. So not only was Scott Roby a defendant, but the city of Boston was a defendant as well. They wiggled themselves out of it. They said I had a claim, no basis of claim for on count 11, I believe. Count 11 was municipal liability. That's where I was. That count was charged on the city. They wiggled themselves out of it. The judge went for it, and the remaining defendant is Scott Roby. So, like I said, he answered his complaint, and we about to get into it. Shout out DJ Nate and in Mouse. Appreciate all of y'all. Make sure y'all hit the like, share, and subscribe. This is the Eyezonbluebloodz education.
I'm just a picture in the frame. Pause. I don't control. I paint word pictures on the canvas of life.
I'm everywhere in public.
So this is in the United States District Court for the District of Massachusetts, First Circuit, ladies and gentlemen. A lot of precedents were set in this circuit when it came to First Amendment. So, of course, I'm the plaintiff, the resistance, John L. McCullough III. And the defendants is the city of Boston, Massachusetts, state of Massachusetts, Scott Roby in his personal capacity, and those 1 to 50 in their personal capacity. I put those 1 to 50 because I haven't been able to receive the information of all the other officers that were involved who participated in the civil rights violation when they took me to the jail. I remember that part when they had me on the ground and one of the guys had the knee on my neck. You know, totally uncalled for. The state one supports it, you know. So we're going to jump right into it. And like I said, on the right-hand side is Scott Roby's answer to the complaint, and on the left-hand side is my complaint. So my complaint starts off by saying plaintiff John L. McCullough sues defendant Scott Roby for money damages and says, jurisdiction. And every paragraph is identified by the number, and that's how you know where and what Scott Roby answered to. So this court has subject matter jurisdiction under 28 U.S.C. 1331 and 1343 over the federal claims concerning violations of the Fourth and 14th Amendments and 42 U.S.C. 1985. This court also has supplemental jurisdiction under 28 U.S.C. 1367 over the related claims under the state law. Venue is proper in this judicial district under 28 U.S.C. because the events giving rise to this civil action occurred in this judicial district. So that's off of my complaint, paragraph 1. So the answer to paragraph 1 in Scott Roby's answer is, this paragraph contains legal conclusions to which no response is required. To the extent a response is required, Officer Roby admits that the court has jurisdiction over the claims and the venue is proper. 2, on my complaint, at all times material to this lawsuit, John L. McCullough III was a resident of Boston, Massachusetts. Officer Roby is without knowledge or information sufficient to enable him to admit or deny the factual allegations of this paragraph. Okay, so he's going to say he's not sure if I was a resident of Boston, Massachusetts at the time of arrest. 3, on my complaint, at all times material to this lawsuit, Scott Roby and those 1 to 50 were residents of Boston, Massachusetts. 3, Officer Roby is without knowledge or information sufficient to enable him to admit or deny the factual allegations regarding those 1 to 50. Officer Roby admits that his is a resident of Boston, Massachusetts. So Officer Roby admits that he is a resident of Boston, Massachusetts. 4, on my complaint. All acts necessary or precedent to the bringing of this lawsuit occurred or accrued in Boston, Massachusetts. 4, on his answer, this paragraph contains legal conclusions to which no response is required. To the extent a response is required, Officer Roby denies the allegations contained in this paragraph. This court has jurisdiction. And that's off of my complaint. And his answer to paragraph number 5 is, this paragraph contains legal conclusions to which no response is required. To the extent a response is required, Officer Roby admits that the court has jurisdiction over the claims. All right, so let's get into the allegations. It starts off with paragraph number 6, and it starts off with Scott Roby's answer on paragraph number 6. So we're all on track. Once again, shout outs to everybody. I appreciate y'all coming through. I appreciate y'all support. Shout out Django ATX, Mom's Wholesome Videos, May Rubuyo, Cajun Randy 214. Appreciate y'all. Gang's all here. All right, allegations. So just to give y'all a heads up, with my complaint, I pretty much was the director of the movie that I recorded when I got arrested. So it wasn't hard to put a screenplay to it. Just actual facts of what happened. So that's how I wrote it. Pretty much how the video went. Because the video, the camera, was my second set of eyes. So that's how I pretty much wrote the complaint. So we start off with the general allegations. And that's paragraph number 6 right here. Remember, on the left-hand side is my complaint. On the right-hand side is the officer, Scott Roby's, answer to the complaint. So on April 25th, 2020, plaintiff was walking on Blue Hill Avenue in Boston, Massachusetts, in the Mattapan section of the city on the sidewalk while recording a traffic stop with a cell phone. When plaintiff reached the corner of the sidewalk at Blue Hill and Ansel Street, plaintiff stopped walking and continued to record the traffic stop. Officer Roby's answer is, Officer Roby admits that plaintiff recorded a traffic stop on April 25th, 2022 on Blue Hill Avenue in Boston, Massachusetts. Officer Roby is without knowledge or information sufficient to enable him to admit or deny the remaining allegations of this paragraph. So he says that he admits that I was there recording, but he's unaware of when plaintiff reached the corner of the sidewalk at Blue Hill and Ansel Street, plaintiff stopped walking and continued to record the traffic stop. So he's saying he's unaware of the rest of this paragraph. Now, we all know that he said he noticed me on the corner recording the traffic stop before I even walked into the street. He said that in his testimony. We heard that. So, that could be a deposition question. It could be. 7. Plaintiff continued recording as a defendant who was conducting the traffic stop walked away from the vehicle after handing the driver back documents. Plaintiff asked the defendant to confirm if defendant had concluded the traffic stop. Defendant didn't respond to plaintiff's question. 7. Officer Roby admits that after the completion of the traffic stop, he returned documents to the driver and walked back to his police cruiser. Officer Roby is without knowledge or information sufficient to enable him to admit or deny the remaining allegations of the paragraph. So you see where we're going at, right? Basically, things that were not relevant to my violations, he's admitting to. But when it comes to me getting into the part of what was relevant between he and I, he's not able to, to admit or deny. Plaintiff asked the defendant to confirm if defendant had concluded the traffic stop. Defendant didn't respond to plaintiff's question. So he's saying Officer Roby is without knowledge or information sufficient to enable him to admit or deny the remaining allegations of this paragraph. On his body cam, you could clearly hear me ask him if he's done with the traffic stop. He chooses not to answer. So he's basically claiming that he didn't hear me. Bullshit. Number 8, when defendant walked away from the traffic stop and got into the police-issued vehicle. Plaintiff walked to the driver's side of the vehicle that had been stopped and proceeded to ask the driver a question. So number 8, on his answer, defendant admits that after he entered his police cruiser, plaintiff entered the street and approached the driver's window. Officer Roby is without knowledge or information sufficient to enable him to admit or deny the remaining allegations of this paragraph. You see where we're going? Number 9. As plaintiff was receiving a response from the driver, defendant walked up to plaintiff and said, "Step out of the street." Plaintiff responded with, "I'm not obstructing traffic." Defendant told plaintiff to step out of the street 2 more times before saying, "If you don't step out of the street, I'm going to lock you up." Number 9, he admitted to that. Wow, he admitted to that. That is crazy. Cold-blooded civil rights violation that he admitted to. Number 9. Should be a summary judgment on that right there. Number 10. Defendant continued to walk up on plaintiff, giving plaintiff no choice to walk backwards until plaintiff reached the sidewalk. Defendant turned away and began walking to his police-issued vehicle. The driver that was stopped by the defendant drove away. So his answer is number 10 over here on the right-hand side. Officer Roby admits that he approached plaintiff and plaintiff returned to the sidewalk, at which point he told the driver that she was free to go and returned to his police cruiser. Officer Roby denies the remaining allegations of this paragraph. So he's denying the part where a defendant turned away and began walking to his police-issued vehicle. The driver that was stopped by the defendant drove away. I don't get it. What part is he denying? Because he just admitted basically everything I said in the paragraph. Moving on to number 11. Plaintiff began walking on the sidewalk in the same direction that defendant was walking while asking for defendant's name and badge. Defendant was in the street on the driver's side of his police-issued vehicle. Plaintiff continued to ask for his name and badge as plaintiff walked into the parking lane of the street in the direction of the defendant's passenger side of the police-issued vehicle. Wow, so what would his answer be on that? Because that was all facts. We've seen the video thousands of times. He admitted to it. He admitted to the fact that I was on the sidewalk walking in the same direction that he was walking while he was in the street. And defendant was in the street on the driver's side of his police-issued vehicle. Remember, the defendant now is Scott Roby. I'm the plaintiff, the resistance. Plaintiff continued to ask for name and badges. Plaintiff walked into the parking lane of the street in the direction of the defendant's passenger side of the police-issued vehicle. Parking lane, and he admitted to it. He's admitting to the civil rights violation. Number 12. Defendant turned around and proceeded to walk around the front of the defendant's police-issued vehicle and headed in the direction of the plaintiff. Another admit. He admitted to that as well. 13. Defendant stated the plaintiff to step out of the street, following with, "I am not going to tell you again." Defendant walked up to plaintiff, causing physical contact, saying, "Let me see your hands," as defendant retrieved handcuffs and grabbed plaintiff's wrist. 13 admitted to it. Wow. How is this going to pan out? 14. Defendant began taking control of plaintiff's body by pulling on plaintiff's left arm as plaintiff continued to record with cell phone, which was in plaintiff's right hand. Defendant continued to pull on plaintiff's right arm, causing severe pain as defendant poked a thumb into defendant's left wrist while saying, "Put your hands behind your back." Now, let me explain about that poking the thumb in my wrist. He was going for pressure points. Okay, he was trying to get me to succumb, because to be honest with you, you've seen it, I've seen it, I experienced, I was there. Scott Roby is a punk and he's a weakling. He was struggling to get my hands behind my back, even though I was peacefully holding the camera and having one arm to my left side. He still had a problem with that. It wouldn't have worked out unless the assisting arresting officer showed up on the scene like he did. Okay, so that's number 14. And Officer Roby admits that he told plaintiff to put his hands behind his back, and he attempted to arrest him by securing his wrist while plaintiff pulled away and resisted. Officer Roby denies the remaining allegations of this paragraph. Okay, so he's going to deny the part that he was using a pressure point method to get me to put my hands behind my back when I never even committed a crime. Okay. 15. Defendant began to gain more bodily control of plaintiff by pushing plaintiff against a metal closed donation container. As plaintiff stated, I got out of the street. And as plaintiff asked, what are you locking me up for? Defendant continued to push plaintiff against the metal closed container, causing severe pain in the back area. Plaintiff stated, I'm not doing anything, while defendant told plaintiff to put your hands behind your back and stop resisting. Shout out Animals. Animals said first, fourth, and 14th Amendment suit. Well, okay. I got it all up here. As far as what we definitely suing for. Actually, I have to apologize. This is the wrong copy. I have all the official copy has all the official has all the amendments on what were violated on here. I'm sorry about that. I put up the wrong copy, but everything else is the same other than the top part. So we're back on 14. And Officer Roby admits that he told plaintiff to put his hands behind his back and attempted to arrest him by securing his wrist while plaintiff pulled away and resisted. Officer Roby denies the remaining allegations of this paragraph, which was poking me in my wrist. 15, defendant began to gain more bodily control. Okay, I read that one. So his answer to that was Officer Roby admits that while plaintiff was resisting arrest, he said, I got out the street. I'm not doing anything, and what are you locking me up for? Officer Roby further admits that he told plaintiff to put your hands behind your back and don't resist arrest. Officer Roby denies the remaining allegations contained in this paragraph. So he denied the fact that he pushed me against the metal closed donation container, causing severe pain in the back area. So Officer Roby admits that while plaintiff was resisting arrest, he said, I got out the street. I'm not doing anything, and what are you locking me up for? Officer Roby further admits that he told plaintiff to put your hands behind your back and don't resist arrest. Officer Roby denies remaining allegations contained in this paragraph. When we all know that he pushed me all up against that metal clothes container.
Out the street. I got out the street. I got out the street. What are you locking me up for? What are you locking me up for? I already told you to step out of the street. What are you locking me up for? I'm not doing anything. I'm not doing anything. Behind your back. I'm not doing anything.
I mean, is that not me all up on that metal clothes container? And he denied it. He denied the remaining part of the paragraph. Officer Roby is without knowledge or information. I'm sorry, we're on 15. Sorry about that. Here we go. Officer Roby denies the remaining allegations contained in this paragraph. Well, I'll be damned. Defendant began to gain more bodily control of plaintiff by pushing plaintiff against a metal clothes container. As plaintiff stated, I got out the street. And as plaintiff asked, what are you locking me up for? Defendant continued to push plaintiffs against the metal clothes donation container, causing severe pain in the back area. And that's what he denied. Okay. I had to straighten it out a little bit. Sorry about that. But he denied that. And that's number 15. He denied the remaining part of that paragraph as when he continued to push me into the metal donation clothes container. That's the part that he denied. So 16, he denied as well, as we see. Defendant began to pin plaintiff against the metal clothes donation container while receiving assistance by doe number 1, who also assisted defendant with traffic stop. Defendant and doe number 1 grabbed each arm of the plaintiff as defendant and doe number 1 poked their thumb into plaintiff's wrist, causing severe pain. So he denied that whole paragraph. When we clearly see that the other officer came and assisted him.
I got out the street. I got out the street. I'm not resisting. I got out the street.
There he go right there, coming up on the scene to assist him with the arrest. But Officer Roby denied it. Wow, that's number 16. Number 17, defendant and doe number 1 applied handcuffs to the plaintiff's wrist as plaintiff's left side of face began to burn and cause intense and severe pain. Plaintiff asked defendant, "What you spray me with?" Which defendant replied, "I didn't spray you with nothing." As plaintiff was held by each arm while receiving intense and severe pain to left side of plaintiff's face. Plaintiff lost control of cell phone and released the cell phone to the ground. Officer Roby admits that he and another officer applied handcuffs to plaintiff. Officer Roby admits that plaintiff said, "What did you spray me with?" and that he responded, "I didn't spray you with nothing." Officer Roby further admits that plaintiff dropped his phone at some point. Officer Roby denies the remaining allegations of the paragraph. Number 17. As plaintiff was held by each arm while receiving intense and severe pain to left side of plaintiff's face, plaintiff lost control of the cell phone and released the cell phone to the ground. So it kind of contradicted themselves because they said at some point I lost my phone to the ground, but this is the remaining part of the paragraph that they deny. And they're denying the fact that I felt pain to the left side of my face when he deployed his OC spray, but it was definitely true because we all heard it in the testimony. We all heard it. Wow. Number 18, as plaintiff left side of face continued to burn, plaintiff asked defendant what plaintiff was being charged with, which defendant responded with, "I already told you." Plaintiff also requested to get cell phone from the ground for fear of the recording being destroyed. Defendant responded with, "You're under arrest." As defendant took plaintiff to defendant's police-issued vehicle, defendant placed plaintiff in the back of the police-issued vehicle as plaintiff screamed in fear, "Help me, help me." After defendant secured plaintiff in police-issued vehicle, defendant remained outside of the police-issued vehicle. So, Officer Roby, this is 18, his answer to paragraph 18. Officer Roby admits that plaintiff asked what he was being charged with, to which Officer Roby stated, "I already told you," but otherwise denies the allegations of the first sentence of this paragraph. So the first sentence is, as plaintiff left side of face continued to burn, plaintiff asked defendant what plaintiff was being charged with, which defendant responded with, "I already told you." So he's denying that. He's denying that. And I think I need to go back to the video.
That part of the street, or I'm gonna lock you up. Listen, I'm not gonna tell you again, right? Let me see you here.
For what? I got out the street. I got out the street. I got out the street. I'm not resisting. I got out the street. I got out the street.
I already told you to step out of the
What are you up?
your back.
What are you locking me up for?
Put your hands behind your back.
I got out
Put
the
your hands
street.
behind your back.
What are you locking me up for?
Put your hands
I got out
Put your
the
hands
street.
behind your back.
I got out
Put
the
your hands
street.
behind your back.
What are you locking me up for?
Put your hands
What are you locking me
I
up
already
for?
told you to step out.
What are you locking me up for? He denies the first. As plaintiff left side of face continued to burn, plaintiff asked defendant what plaintiff was being charged with, which defendant responded with, "I already told you." Plaintiff also requested So he says that Officer Roby admits that plaintiff asked what he was being charged with. Officer Roby admits that plaintiff asked what he was being charged with, to which Roby states, "I already told you," but otherwise denies the allegations of the first sentence of this paragraph. That my left side of my face was burning after he deployed his OC spray. How is he going to deny that my left part of my face was burning? That's bullshit. Officer Roby admits the third sentence of this paragraph. Officer Roby admits that when plaintiff was placed in the back of the police cruiser while continuing to resist arrest, he yelled, "Help me, help me." Officer Roby admits the fifth sentence of this paragraph. So he admits to it. I said, "Help me," which was clear in the video. He admits to the third sentence, which is, "You're under arrest." But he's denying the fact that the left side of my face was burning. That's bullshit. All right, 19. While plaintiff waited in the backseat of the defendant's police-issued vehicle, patrol supervisor Doe number 2 arrived at the scene. Defendant, and we know that's Sergeant Brooks. We know now that that's Sergeant Brooks from the testimony of the audio hearing that we heard last night. Sergeant Brooks, the supervisor. Arrived at the scene, defendant and patrol supervisor Doe number 2 spoke briefly before defendant got into police-issued vehicle to transfer plaintiff to B3 police station. Officer Roby admits that a supervisor was called to the scene and arrived shortly thereafter and spoke with the officers. Officer Roby further admits that he then got into the cruiser and transported plaintiff to B3 station. They could have just said admitted on that line right there. Number 20. While plaintiff was being driven to B3 police station by defendant, plaintiff left side of face continued to burn. Plaintiff asked, "What's the charge?" in which defendant responded with, "I already told you. And it's on your camera." When defendant arrived at B3 police station, defendant proceeded to retrieve plaintiff from the back seat by pulling forcefully at the handcuffs that were on plaintiff's wrist, which caused severe pain, trauma, and mental anguish. Plaintiff asked defendant, "Why are you grabbing me like that?" As defendant continued to pull and tighten on handcuffs. After defendant took plaintiff out of the vehicle, plaintiff began to scream, "Help me, help me. He's trying to kill me." For fear of being physically harmed when taken into B3 police station, plaintiff then yelled, "He's taking my property from me," and hoped that it would deter the defendant from destroying the cell cam footage. So, number 19, his answer is Officer Roby admits that a supervisor was called to the scene and arrived shortly thereafter and spoke with the officers. I'm sorry, number 20. My fault, number 20. Officer Roby denies the first sentence of this paragraph. Officer Roby admits the second sentence of this paragraph. Plaintiff asks, "What's the charge?" in which defendant responded with, "I already told you." Officer Roby denies the third sentence of this paragraph. When defendant arrived at B3 police station, defendant proceeded to retrieve plaintiff from the back seat by pulling forcefully at the handcuffs. So that he denied that piece of shit. Officer Roby admits that plaintiff made the statements in the 4th, 5th, and 6th sentences of this paragraph, but otherwise denies the allegations in those sentences. So he denies the fact, as defendant, he admits that I said, "Why are you grabbing me like that?" But he denies the part where as defendant continued to pull and tighten on handcuffs. And he admits to me screaming, "Help me, help me. He's trying to kill me," for fear of being physically harmed when taken into B3 police station. That's the part he denied. And plaintiff then yelled, "He's taking my property from me." He admitted that I said that because it was clear on the footage, but he denies that I'm saying that it's in hope that it would deter the defendant from destroying the cell cam footage. All right, moving on 21. You see how the bullshit goes, okay? As defendant pushed plaintiff closer toward the garage door of the reception area of the B3 police station, defendant placed plaintiff's hood of jacket over plaintiff's head. Defendant bent plaintiff over and defendant ran plaintiff's head into a hard surface as defendant yelled, "Stop spinning." Plaintiff felt severe pain on head and was in extreme fear once plaintiff's vision was obstructed with hood of jacket caused by defendant. So his answer on number 21 would be, Officer Roby admits that as they approached the door to the B3 station, he pulled the hood of plaintiff's jacket over his head to stop plaintiff from spitting and told plaintiff to stop spitting. Officer Roby denies the remaining allegations of this paragraph. So he denies the fact that he ran my head into the wall. Child's Underground Auditor. He says handcuff leverage sucks. Shouts to Queen. She said I was burning and he was too, even more than me. Yes, I was definitely burning. The left side of my face was on sizzle, but his eyeballs was on fire. That's for real. He couldn't even handle the arrest. He needed Officer Woods to assist him because his eyeballs was rolling all around in his head, trying to, seek more fluid to calm that, OC spray down. All right, what number are we on? Okay, number 22. As plaintiff was pulled into the reception area by defendant and doe number 3, who assisted with arrest, plaintiff left side of face continued to burn. Plaintiff's vision continued to be obstructed with plaintiff's hood of jacket caused by defendant as plaintiff was drugged into a cage area inside B3 police station. Plaintiff asked, "Why are y'all doing this to me? Why are y'all doing this to me?" 22. His answer is Officer Roby admits that plaintiff made the statement in the last sentence of this paragraph, but otherwise denies the remaining allegations contained in this paragraph. Wow. So in the video, it shows that once I go into the police station, everything goes black. And then once everything clears up again, I'm on the ground. And I got 2 officers on me. And then a little bit later, which is maybe less than a minute, I got one that has his neck on my throat. I'm sorry, has his knee on my throat. And you can hear me saying, I can't breathe. And this was a month before George Floyd died. 23. Once plaintiff was in the cage area, plaintiff was slammed to the ground while plaintiff's vision was still obstructed by hood of jacket, which was caused by the defendant and causing plaintiff's extreme pain, fear, and trauma. Plaintiff's left side of face continued to burn. Plaintiff began to cry out in pain and plead with the defendant and those to stop hurting plaintiff as plaintiff heard defendant and those talking around him. And can you imagine that shit? You getting dragged in a police station with your own hood wrapped around your head. You can't see shit. You don't know you don't know when that fatal blow coming, if one is coming. You don't know if somebody gonna sucker punch you from behind, anything. So his answer is denied. He denied the whole shit. Once plaintiff was in cage area, plaintiff was slammed to the ground while plaintiff's vision was still obstructed by hood of jacket. which was caused by the defendant and caused the plaintiff extreme pain, fear, and trauma. Plaintiff's left side of face continued to burn. Plaintiff began to cry out in pain and plead with the defendant and Doze to stop hurting plaintiff, as plaintiff heard defendant and Doze talking around him. I'm not going to keep going to the video because we've seen it. So that was denied, number 23. Number 24, plaintiff's vision continued to be obstructed with hooded jacket, which was caused by a defendant. And I keep reiterating that my vision was obstructed by my hooded jacket by the hood of my jacket, because that's what he did. That was the action that he caused throughout these scenes. Okay? Plaintiff was pinned to the ground in the cage area by defendant and Doze. Plaintiff felt physical contact of multiple hands on plaintiff's body used to restrain plaintiff, which was initiated by defendant and Doze. Plaintiff screamed out that he could not breathe as an extreme sharp pressure was applied to plaintiff's neck, causing trauma, fear, pain, and lack of oxygen. That's number 24. And number 24 is denied as well. Number 25. After plaintiff was released from being pinned to the ground, defendants and Doze took plaintiff to another area of the B3 police station. Medical assistance arrived for plaintiff's burns on left side of face, as plaintiff was fingerprinted and processed by doe number 4 and doe number 5 stood beside plaintiff. After doe number 4 processed plaintiff, doe number 5 took plaintiff to a jail cell where plaintiff remained in jail cell for a total of 34 hours. Plaintiff was released on a $400 cash bail and received an additional condition of release to stay away from B3 police station. Plaintiff received personal property, including cell phone, which was destroyed. However, the SD card located inside the phone was not damaged, preserving the footage of the arrest. And Officer Roby is without knowledge or information sufficient to enable him to admit or deny the allegations of this paragraph. So my causes of action. You know what? I want to read some comments, and if somebody want to come up and ask some questions, y'all can do that as well. And I think I'm going to leave the cause of actions for a part 2. And I just put the link in the chat. But I think I'm going to leave this the causes of actions because it's a little lengthy. It's a little lengthy. See how much I'm scrolling? These are my causes. These are my causes of the actions, and these are the answers to why my shit should be denied. When we have video, we got video. We can go into causes of actions maybe tomorrow. That'll be a part 2 to this. But right now, I just want to read some comments, do some shouting out. Shout outs. I got Joe. I was just about to say shout out to Joe Casano. He pop up in the back. Hey, Joe. What up, Joe?
What's up, man? How are you? Can you hear me all right?
I'm going to put the mic a little closer to the speaker. I'm going to pick your voice up. Let me turn the music down.
Okay.
Shout out to Joe Casano, y'all. Say hi to Joe Casano. Loyal supporter. He's been there with me from the beginning. When I started out from my how we meet? Through my Facebook page, right?
I believe I saw one of your YouTube videos and I commented on YouTube, and then we started talking on Facebook.
Yeah, and that's been like over 2.5 years,
yes,
right?
Sir.
It's maybe a few weeks after I started picking the camera up. But what's up, Joe? What's going on? I know you got something to say about this stuff.
One thing I wanted to ask was, did he answer this lawsuit before the trial?
No. It came after. Yeah, I just received this last week. They were due with a response by October 22nd, and he had time to answer it at least 2 months before, but they delayed it. They delayed the answer because I think they wanted to see how this trial was going to go.
Yeah. That's what surprises me is that he would make these, denials, I guess you would consider it, with the video. Like they saw your video. Like how and obviously that video helped the jury, prove your innocence. And for him to just, I mean, I guess he's not going to admit it, but it's just crazy. Like your video alone is going to make this a slam dunk, as long as they're willing to see it.
The only thing is that where they get pro se litigants, where they catch them up at is through the rules and procedures.
Yeah.
And that's what they use against pro se litigants. And how they do it is they bombard you with it, and they give you a certain amount of time to answer this and that. And I'm gonna be honest with you, I've made it this far because I've been punching all the way, but I don't know everything. So one of the reasons why I put this up here is to hear people's suggestions and comments as well, for me to get further. But number 16, I think what was it? 11, 12, 13, and 14. It was crazy that he denied those things.
Yeah.
Where it was proven in court.
Exactly.
Plaintiff began walking on the sidewalk in the same direction that defendant was walking while asking for defendant's name and badge. I mean, they broke that down in court, and it's also we've seen it in the video hundreds of times.
Absolutely. Can he? I don't know if you know, but can he be found in not contempt, but I forgot the word of it. But can he be considered like lying on the stand because of his previous testimony in the criminal case?
Like placed on a Brady list?
That or just can't think of the damn word. Well, perjury. Can he be caught on perjury for like saying, "Oh, I didn't do that," but then saying in court like, "Yeah, I did," or it being on the camera?
I'm just going to tell you what I'm doing right now. I'm in the process of filling out a complaint, and it's a complaint against any government official that works in the city, right? And I believe through that process is where it could open up the doors to showing how he purchased himself on the stand and everything. But I also believe that this process has to be completed as well, the federal process. I didn't go state. And I probably think I should have went state. I may have jumped the gun and went federal. Federal is much more harder. You know what I'm saying? I probably should have went state where they don't pay attention to a lot of things that the federal judges pay attention to, or are strict of.
Yeah.
So
I could definitely see it being tougher federal.
For me. I mean, we can go all into my catalog and see the civil rights violations. This is me just learning this stuff, and this is how far I made it so far. So I'm gonna keep it. I'm being optimistic. If I win, great. But I'm not really looking for a win. I'm looking for the experience right now. I'm looking to get punched in the face, kicked in the ass, and being denied, and seeing why I was denied, and learn from that. Because I'm walking alone, Joe. I'm walking alone. I really don't have nobody helping me. You know what I'm saying? The people that are educated either too busy or they don't want to give up the information. So
they want money for it or something.
Right. So no way am I stunting. I don't want people to think I'm stunting, or anything. Act like I'm showboating and nah. I'm just walking right through this. The only reason why I came this far is because I've been punching from the beginning.
Absolutely.
So yeah, I'm learning as I go. I'm not even stressing myself. If I don't make, I've made deadlines so far ever since February, but my mind is like this. If I don't make a deadline, I'm not going to stress myself on it. I'm at least make an attempt to ask for extra time before I miss a deadline, stuff like that. But let's just say if it's for you, oh, well, it's for you. I need to learn how not to let it fool you the next time, because like I said, this is a learning experience, and I got plenty of footage to show civil rights violations. This is not going to be my first time around the block.
That is true, but I do believe that you're doing a good job. Just getting this far is a big deal, and I think you're gonna just continue to do well. I have faith in you. You know that.
Yeah, I know you do, and I got faith in myself too. But we don't always make it the first time around. It took me 2 times to get my driver's license.
Yeah, I get you. I do get you.
So yeah, but it is what it is. It's more of the retaining the knowledge and understanding their games and using their games against them. Because just because you're in federal court don't mean you set free. They still playing the game. They're not trying to give up no money to small exposure.
Yeah,
like you know what I'm saying? Like this is they look at this like, what, an unlawful arrest, and he asking for this? We gonna go? No, we're not going through this. Let's play these games. Let's throw the books at them.
Yeah, they'll try to definitely hide it if they can, because there's no national news coverage. There's no one really have an eye on them, so they're going to try to use every nasty trick in the book, and that's for sure.
Right. Tara Harris says, I'm surprised one of the civil rights lawyers haven't jumped on this case. So my biggest problem is the reason why I haven't, from what I've experienced, the reason why I haven't had civil rights lawyers jump on this, because there's no liability. I didn't get my ass beat. I didn't get shot. You dig what I'm saying? I ain't come out like a vegetable. So they looking at how they could get some money out of it. And just for it to be an unlawful arrest, and his civil rights was they not on most of the places I called, they don't even represent the people. I asked them, I said, yeah, do you take civil rights violations of police officers? No, we don't. I said, but you say you're a civil rights firm. They protect the police.
Oh.
They represent the police.
That's terrible.
A lot of these big companies, they'll shoot you right on down. Like, no, we don't work like that. That's not what we do. What you mean that's not what you do? Oh, you represent the chief of police. You represent the captain of the fire department or whatever.
Yeah. The union of the police or sheriffs or something like that.
Yeah, they so, and I've searched for civil rights lawyers before I won the trial and after, right after I won the trial. That's only been a couple weeks ago, and I've yet have no one to call me back. No one to call me back because they don't see no money in it.
Yeah,
it ain't enough money for them. You know what I'm saying? They're not going to go against the system for that. Oh, it's money. It's money in it, but they're not going to go against their brother or their sister. You know how they talk in state court in Massachusetts. They're not going to go against their brother or their sister-in-law for no small shit like that.
See, I wish there was more lawyers like that. That video I had sent you about the civil rights lawyer on YouTube, because he seems, I mean, I don't know, obviously, his true self, but it seems that he, actually cares and he wants to help people. But a lot of lawyers, like you said, they work for the government and they cover it up, and it's actually pretty disgusting what goes on, just in day-to-day court everywhere in America, everywhere in the world. So yeah, no, I understand the situation and why it's so hard to get someone to help,
Right. Hey, you know what? I want to pause real quick, not to cut you off, but I appreciate everybody show their love for DPN. Shout outs and rest in peace to DPN. I like that guy, man. He had some good videos out, man. Everybody loved his voice. But, make sure at this time we're going to, stay silent for a minute. I'll show y'all love for DPN. Yeah, man. Once again, Disorderly Product News, man. Show y'all love for him, man. Go over to his channel. leave comment, send some condolences to his family.
Absolutely.
He was one.
Let me let you go, Jay. I'm about to leave work, but thanks for having me on.
Oh, definitely, bro. Yeah, I know you on a tight schedule. I'm gonna let you. Hey, listen, I'm glad we on the line. I got a new phone and I lost your number. So yeah, give me a call, please.
All right. Also, just so you know, my Facebook and my Instagram had gotten taken down, so I can only contact you through like here or text message. I'm trying to get my account back. I think it got hacked, but I don't know if that's gonna happen.
I saw that, and that's what made me try to reach out to you through my personal phone. And I realized I got a new phone, and your number ain't carry over to the new phone. So, yeah, thanks for coming up because that was the most important thing. And thanks for coming up and commenting about what's going on now with the federal review.
No problem.
But much love to you and your family, bro. I haven't came in, but hopefully I will. But if not, we'll always stay in contact. You have a good and safe night, bro.
Absolutely. You too.
Have a good night. Bye-bye. Shout out to Joe Casano, y'all. Yeah, that's once again, shout out Disorderly Product News. So it's very interesting what Joe was saying about how he waited until after the trial to admit and deny certain allegations in my complaint. And like I said, his answer was due the 22nd of October. Okay. He blew trial on the 7th of October. Or should I say I was not guilty. And, he come out with these wild answers, man. These wild answers. So this is the first part of the federal case review. We went over the allegations and we seen the boiling answers that he gave. He denied crazy stuff that we clearly seen in the video. So we're going to, I guess tomorrow night, if not tomorrow night, then Friday night, we'll go over causes of action and go over bit by bit what they how they felt about it and what they had to say. Here you go, right here, the causes of action. Shout out to everybody in the chat. Appreciate y'all. I'll make sure y'all stay tuned. It's not as consistent, but it's more educational. It's an Eyezonbluebloodz education.
Hit the lights! Everybody about to get killed out here. Like it for everybody.
It's a very psychological thing that's happening here.
Make sure y'all stay tuned to part 2. It's coming up either tomorrow night or Friday night. Shout out to Mark Wunderlich, Joe Casano. Once again, thanks for coming up, bro. Tara Harris, Rhonda, Strictly Business. We got Girls for XYZ in the house. Let me get them out of here real quick. Block that user. That is not what this channel is about. Jonathan Burks. Yum. What's going on? David Avila. He said civil rights attorneys I spoke to $5,000 down plus filing and service fees, and $500 an hour. Talking about between 10 and 15 grand to take them to federal court regarding all my issues. Where am I going to get that money? So we're all stuck with a process that needs to be fixed so the normal person can facilitate justice without having to win my case. Without something about my case. Wait forever in your case. Simply stop a wrong before it becomes more than it already is. I know that's right. This is what I'm talking about. This is how they make it hard for pro se litigants. You know, they make you come out to, they exhaust you. This is purposely to protect government officials that you're trying to sue. Not gonna make it easy for you. Yeah, the good thing about me is I started off recording a lot of stuff, and it's forever archived. And civil rights, there's no statute of limitation to a civil rights violation. So I'm in a learning process. Roby just may get over on this one, but guess what? I'm going to stand fighting. I'm going to stand. It ain't going to be no quitting or, oh, I'm done with it. No, I'm going to get, if I get smacked in the head, I get beat by these civil rules and procedures, then I'm going to learn from that on the next one. Because don't forget, we got Rhode Island. We got state police here in Massachusetts. We got all types of public buildings here in Boston where all types of violations occurred. Cambridge, Massachusetts. Obama said the worst police station in the country. I got a lot of stuff going on, so you know, I might as well just start my own institute and be my first student and just learn. So that's what it's about, ladies and gentlemen. It's not a clear road for the pro se litigant. It's bumpy, very bumpy. But I appreciate y'all coming through. Like I said, we get to continue this with part 2 with causes of action. And at a later date, maybe I could go live and show you how I started the whole initial procedure of filing a civil rights violation. But until then, I want y'all to be safe. And I appreciate y'all coming through. Once again, much love. Stay safe out there. Ladies, get dash cams. It's important. Fellas, record.
It's the resistance.
I'm just a black man with cameras.